You're watching Northwest Cable News. Covering the four corners of the Northwest. From the mountains to the Sound. This is Northwest Cable News.
Will orcas get protection or not? A move today that could help determine their fate.
This is NWCN, Northwest Cable News. Northwest news and weather 24 hours a day. Now, Northwest News Today.
Today, a federal judge says the National Marine Fisheries Service should rethink its decision about protecting orcas in Puget Sound and nearby waters under the Endangered Species Act. Hi, I'm Jeff McAtee. The judge ruled the federal agency made serious errors.
This is NWCN, Northwest Cable News. Northwest news and weather 24 hours a day. Now, Northwest News Tonight.
It stretches for miles across southern Puget Sound. Tonight, investigators are trying to find the source of this massive fuel spill and where it might be headed next.
It's persistent. It's thick. It's heavy. It'll stay around for a long time.
Good evening. I'm Dean Staley.
And I'm Cam Johnson. The beauty of Puget Sound.
You're watching NWCN, Northwest Cable News. And now, an in-depth half-hour exploring one of the day's top stories. 30 minutes, one topic. This is Northwest Extra with Cam Johnson.
He was our first whale, the one we cheered on to go free.
You're watching NWCN, working together with King 5 News and KGW News Channel 8, Cram 2 News at Idaho's News Channel 7, Northwest News and Weather 24 hours a day. Now, Northwest News Today.
The Seattle International Film Festival wraps up on Sunday, and when it's all over, the festival will have featured more than 400 movies from around the world. But as Northwest Cable News' Eric Sandoval explains,
this is NWCN, Northwest News and Weather 24 hours a day. Now, Northwest News First Edition.
Next, gaining tons of financial friends. All eyes are on Facebook stock this morning as it goes public for the first time. A Northwest SWAT team brings in the big guns, trying to lure a suspect out of his home. What they found 7 hours later. And Copper River salmon finally arrives in the Northwest this morning, but are you willing to pay the price for this prized fish? Good morning. I'm Stephen Kilbreth. It's Friday, May 18th, and you're watching First Edition. Here's a look at our Portland Tower Cam this morning.
Next on Northwest News Today, did the FBI drop the ball in the Boston bombing? President Obama talks about the investigation and touches on the tense situation in Syria. Then black smoke coming from a Northwest airport today. What happened and whether it affected air travel. And gearing up for May Day protest tomorrow, why police in Seattle believe this year will be less chaotic. Your news starts now.
This is NWCN, Northwest News and Weather 24 hours a day. Now, Northwest News Today.
Thanks for joining us this Tuesday. I'm Cam Johnson.
You're watching NWCN, working together with King 5 News and KGW News Channel 8, Cram 2 News, and Idaho's News Channel 7. Northwest News and Weather 24 hours a day. Now, Northwest News Today.
What's a great athlete to do when left with a debilitating injury?
Welcome to the White House.
Next on Northwest News Evening Edition, the Seahawks take D.C. Paul Sylvie's there to tell us what the players thought of getting congratulated by the president. Then President Obama demands answers from the nation's VA hospitals, find out how many facilities are under the federal microscope. And biologists help these birds of prey find new homes, why their relocation means safer flying for you. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meg Coyle. Your news starts now.
This is NWCN, Northwest News and Weather 24 hours a day. Now, Northwest News Evening Edition.
Let's give it up for this quiet, reserved bunch called the Seattle Seahawks.
The celebration continues for the Seattle Seahawks. Like all Super Bowl champs before them, the team made it to the White House to celebrate with the president himself. It was an incredible afternoon for the team as they had the president and the crowd cheering and laughing. Here's King 5's Joyce Taylor to help us relive in what hopefully was the first of many of these types of visits.
Next on Northwest News Weekend, weekend road work closes down major highways across the region. But some people are finding a silver lining in all that gridlock. Then, remembering a fallen firefighter, Northwesterners honor the Oregon native killed while battling a wildfire. And all-you-can-eat pancakes, the breakfast event that kicked off one of Boise's biggest summer events. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Stephen Kilbreth, and your news starts now.
This is NWCN. Northwest news and weather 24 hours a day. Now, Northwest News Weekend.
Well, there's been lots of traffic troubles for drivers in the Northwest this weekend. Right now, 2 busy areas in the Seattle area are closed.
The news continues 24/7, powered by our 4 sister stations in the Northwest.
This morning on First Edition, Northwest moms wade into the debate over gun control, the message they're sending to lawmakers. And a man accused in a crash that killed 3 people gets his day in court today. Hear the harsh words from the lone survivor. And throwing punches instead of passes. Things get a little heated at Seahawks practice. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Edition. I'm Cam Johnson. It's Thursday, June 19th.
The news continues 24/7, powered by our 4 sister stations in the Northwest.
And good evening on this Friday. I'm Stephen Kilbreth. The state has fined a Richland, Washington company for its handling of dangerous radioactive waste from Hanford. Permafix Northwest has agreed to pay a fine of more than
It started out as a simple concept more than 2 decades ago.
We had all the great reporters of the Northwest combined with the things we were doing. And I thought that made us by far the best.
A cutting-edge idea brought to life to bring the Northwest together. Dr. Malarkey also suggests you try over-the-counter medications. But tonight, we say good night. NWCN is signing off. The award-winning regional news network that was more like a family. And tonight, we look back at just how fun it's been.
And good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Angela King, and this is it, our final broadcast. For the next hour, we will be live one last time.
There's only one news network built for the Northwest. Northwest Cable News.
Our goal is to provide the best local coverage of news in Eastern Washington.
And we feel the same way about our viewers in Western Washington. We also realize many local stories impact the entire region.
That's the advantage we offer. 4 strong stations strategically placed throughout the Northwest, thinking locally and working regionally.
It's the news network built for the Northwest. Northwest Cable News and our sister stations. Reporters and producers using their knowledge, giving people here in the Northwest a bigger picture of things.
From the coast of Oregon to the mountains of Idaho, people living here appreciate this unique corner of the world. We share the same values and the same concerns about this beautiful place we all call home.
Northwest Cable News, the news network built for the Northwest.